Hello, welcome to Pop Along RC, the RC car channel dedicated to RC car racing, and in this video it's all about where is the best place for RC. Now, we get lots of people contacting us through the channel asking us where the best club is, or they might say what's our local club. And to be honest, we live in an amazing area in terms of RC, and I think we are possibly spoiled for choice. We've got a lot of people in the channel from New Zealand, Australia and America, and they talk about having to travel for hours to get to their local club. We look at videos, especially some of the big events out in the States, and we look at those and think, wow, what an amazing facility they've got. But then we find out that people have to fly just to get there because it's so far, and like America is so vast. Now, if I show you this little image here of the UK is pretty tiny, and we live in, well, I live in a village, Mark's in a village just up the road, but we live very close to Luton Airport, which is the main thing that people recognise now. So if I was to take a map and go 30 miles in any direction or 50 kilometres, then I would have a circle on a map, and within that range, this is how many clubs we have got that we can go visit, and we are spoiled for choice. So when people ask us, where's your local club? Well, we've got quite a few. All of these clubs are within 45 minutes to us. I think the one furthest out there is South Cams, and that takes probably closer to an hour to get to, but everything else is comfortably inside an hour to travel to. If we want to go carpet racing and on-road, we've got our on-road clubs, but we've also got off-road. We've got indoor off-road racing at DMS, and then we've got the amazing facility over at Hearts Nitro, where we've got 1/8 scale nitro buggies, and they've also got the 1/10 track. But then there's also the sort of entry-level racing club over at Mill End. We've got Indoor Raceway Stevenage, which are doing some amazing things, both on-road and off-road. They've got their off-road Tamiya racing, which they've just released, but they've also got the Carpet Legends series for the on-road competition. So I think, personally, we're really fortunate to live where we live. There's actually other clubs that I've not added to this map, having already done the images and sort of planned this video. There are a couple of other clubs, again, within 45 minutes that I've missed off. But we are super, super lucky. And I'm thinking, are we sort of quite central in the RC world? Is the rest of the UK as densely populated as this when it comes to RC tracks? I know if you head up to Nottingham, you've probably got half a dozen tracks in the Nottingham area for both on-road and off-road. Obviously, we've got Junction 16, we've got Silverstone around the Northampton area, the home of Schumacher Racing. So I think where I am, where Mark is, we're kind of blessed with this little pocket of lots and lots of RC car tracks. And we've also got bashing sessions. So if you are a fan of the bashers and the grassroots stuff, we've also got the Sunday meetups, which are amazing, and they pull in quite big numbers. So in our area, we've got lots of awesome tracks, which give us a lot of variety and also help us with creating content, because we get to pop along to multiple tracks. But is there another area of the UK or even the world that is as densely packed with tracks as we are here? But then there might be other areas of the globe where you haven't got lots of tracks, but you've got quality over quantity. So where is the best track in the world for RC? Where do me and Mark need to pop along to? If we were going to take Pop Along RC International, where should we pop along to first? I think we've already kind of penciled in the Huddy Arena on our wish list, because they've got the on-road and the off-road at one location. But where else is there that we can travel? Any suggestions, pop them down in the comments down below. the MKGP. What an amazing event. This year it was organised by Schumacher, and the guys involved in sort of the track design and organising the track was Junction 16. Now we've got some really bad news. Junction 16 might be losing their home track. Unfortunately, the hall that they use for the track is planning to convert it into a soft play. There is actually a petition in place at the moment, so if you've got a moment, please log yourself in and sign that petition. Let's try and save Junction 16, the club that was responsible for this year's MKGP. It'll be a real shame to see them lose that track. So please click on the link down below and support if you can. But back to the video. This video is all about RC car tracks and where is the best place in the world for RC car tracks. Now, are we lucky because we've got lots, or are there places that have got quality over quantity? Pop it in the comments down below. So in other news, we kind of had a little bit of a waffle there about tracks. In other news, let's just talk about what I've been up to and what I've got coming up on the channel. Now here on the table I've also got my short course truck, and I've had a little look. The short course truck nationals have been announced, and none of the tracks that the nationals are going to are in my little radius, which means I'm going to have to travel further afield. And I think actually if it comes to one track which is probably going to be my local for truck racing, I think I'm going to be looking at about an hour and 45 minutes, and that is going to be the Coventry Club. I've heard great things about it, and it's definitely on my to-do list for this year. So Coventry, I will be in touch, and I will be popping along with my PR Racing short course truck. I've also got the ready to run trucks that I'd like to bring up there and have some fun. I'm going to pop along with my son and just have sort of some fun times up there, get a bit of practice in, and then hopefully also compete at the truck nationals. That's the plan. That's kind of my thing for this year. I want to be doing a bit of truck racing when the weather improves. The weather's still pretty lousy at the moment here in the UK, so I'm kind of stuck with the indoor stuff. That being said, I've been busy working on my vintage cars ready for the vintage GP that we've got coming up very soon at Wheelspin. Now, a few months ago, it might have been a year ago, I don't know, it was a long time ago, I created a video showing some of my vintage cars, and one of them was identified as a Schumacher Cat 2000 EC. It was in pretty bad state, to be fair. It was covered in super glue, it was kind of, yeah, taped together in parts, and I gave it to Tinkerbell, who offered to turn that car around and turn it into, well, what it is now actually. He spent quite a long time cleaning, buffing, replacing the belts, and now I have got myself a fully restored Cat 2000 EC. Apparently it is a Temu chassis, I've been informed, so it's a slight modification on the original 2000 EC. So this is the car that I'm hoping to get ready for the Wheelspin GP that we've got coming up. If I can't get it done in time, it will definitely be the car that I'm going to be running at this year's revival. I'm going to be racing two-wheel drive trucks with my Storm Cougar conversion, and then obviously the 2000 EC is the car I'm hoping to run for four-wheel drive. Another little project that I've been working on is my Super Astute. Okay, so here we have my Super Astute, absolutely stunning looking car. Now, I took this out recently. I say recently, it was a while back now. When we popped over to Wheelspin Models for their anniversary meet, I took this car out, and do you know what? It was nice to drive. It was kind of just going round. As you can see, it is as good as new, with one exception, and that is at the back here. I managed to chew up this gear, and that's because I didn't actually build this car. I did a little swap. I did a trade, so I ended up adding this car to my collection, having not built it or really know anything about it. And what I did is I put a 48 DP pinion on, and this spur gear is a 0.5 mod. So after a couple of laps, it was chewed up quite badly. So what I'm going to do is I am going to convert this to a 48 DP, and I'm going to show you what bits I've bought to do it. Hopefully the bits I've bought work. If they do, this will be a great video. So as you can see now, that spur gear is very much ruined. That is good for nothing. So what I'm going to do is whip that off and replace it with, that I've got here are team associated spur gear, and I've also got the slipper pads, so hopefully it'll be a straight swap. These are the slipper pads that go with the Astute, and over here we've got these slipper pads which need to go with the associated one. Then I've got this little project coming up very soon, so I've got lots of things to get on with, lots of things to work on. I'm just waiting for the weather to improve so we can get back outside and start enjoying some of the outdoor clubs that we've got in the area. Anyway, bit of a waffly video today, a little bit of an update, and hopefully you'll like, subscribe, hit the old ding dong bell, and we'll see you trackside soon.